GIF stands for Graphics Interchange Format. I'm sorry, are you trying to tell me that it's pronounced Graphics? Am I gonna go home later today and play with my Jolden Retriever? Or rent the 2014 hit box office movie Guardians of the Galaxy? Maybe for your birthday, I'll give you a gift. Possibly a pet Joldfish, or maybe a Ginny Pig.
So today we're going to talk about GIF, a pronunciation lesson. We're going to go over what it is, why there's even a discussion about the pronunciation, and why it's a hard G. So a GIF it stands for Graphics Interchange Format. Basically, that's a compressed file type for easier transfer, smaller file. And also you can use it for multiple images for animated effects such as these, which are lots of fun and all over the internet and widely recognized as GIFs. The debate is between the hard G, soft G pronunciation, GIF or GIF. All of this started because the creator, Steve Wilhite, decided that he wanted it to sound like GIF, like choosy moms choose GIF. He wanted choosy developers to choose GIF. Basically what that sounds like to me is a boss who had what he thought was a really clever idea and imposed it because he was the boss, although it was really impractical. Does that sound familiar? I think so too. This is so much like the situation on the Fun Run episode of The Office, where he called it the Michael Scott Dunder Mifflin Scranton Meredith Palmer Memorial Celebrity Rabies Awareness Pro-Am Fun Run Race for the Cure. Can't even get through it. It was printed on all of the t-shirts, but nobody actually called it that because it was incredibly impractical. Impractical nonsense, basically just because he was the boss. But as John Simpson, chief editor of the Oxford English Dictionary, said, the pronunciation with a hard G is now very widespread and readily understood. The coiner effectively loses control of a word once it's out there. I tend to agree. Now let's talk about some hard G words. Mackenzie, can you pronounce those words for me?
Gab, gow, gum.
Correct. They are hard G words. Typically, one-syllable words that start with G will have a hard G. There are some exceptions to this rule, so let's talk about soft G words. Somebody want to read those words?
Gin, Jill, dry.
Okay. Does anybody know why they start with a soft G instead of a hard G?
Because it's of the vowels.
Close, but no cigar, because if it was because of the vowels, it would in fact be GIF. But it's not. So these words, their pronunciation all has to do with the origins of them. All three of these words have French origins. Gin comes from the French word for juniper, which has a soft G sound. Gel is short for gelatin, which comes from the French word for jelly. And giraffe is French in origin, and also African and Brazilian, and all three of those have a soft G sound. And also if it was called giraffe, it would be mean, and giraffes are really nice. So that does not count. Also GIF, the G in GIF is short for graphics, which has a hard G. But even the Oxford Dictionary says that when you're pronouncing abbreviations, you go by the language law of that region, not by anything to do with the words that it is short for, which is why we call it a JPEG, not a JFEG. Now let's read some words. If I can have a volunteer to read all of these hard G words with a soft G to talk about how ridiculous it is to pronounce it GIF.
Joe, Jet, Jazz, Jag, Joel, John, Gift.
Thank you very much. Also, the closest word to GIF is gift, which obviously we do not pronounce gift. So if you still pronounce it GIF, you can go ahead and jet out. And on that note, my dear friend and classmate Briar and I made a deal. He pronounces it GIF, and we discussed how the creator of Wi-Fi pronounces it Wi-Fi, but none of us say Wi-Fi. So he said he agreed to the fact that if he ever said Wi-Fi instead of Wi-Fi, he could receive a slap. So he has volunteered to receive a slap, but he ran out of the room because he admits that he is wrong. So on that note, you should all go to this website and purchase this sticker that says, I pronounce GIF with a hard G. Thank you very much.